About a week and a half ago, I tested the Ryzen 2600 in Starfield, which is the minimum Bethesda recommends for the game. And the 3700X was supposed to come next. So this will be that video. In the 2600 video, we used the 7900XTX, 6800XT, and RTX 4090. Unfortunately for this video, my 7900XTX footage got corrupted, so I won't be able to use any of that. And I can't really go back and test it. So we're going to use the 6800XT and RTX 4090. We'll test it at 1440p high settings. We'll check out New Atlantis and the combat area in the tutorial part of the game. Let's take a look. There's some interesting results here, although not really that surprising. So in this area, even the 6800 XT seems to be CPU bound, so the performance is very similar to both. Now, this footage that I recorded when the game first came out, so I wasn't really aware of all of the game's mechanics, if you will. So I didn't know that you could fast forward time to check out what the performance would be like during the day, right? Because I'm not sure if the load increases during the day. Maybe there's more people. And I also didn't know about Aquila City, which is a little bit more CPU demanding than New Atlantis, I believe. So it would have been an interesting test to look at that as well. But for now, I mean, it looks, I was actually kind of surprised by the 3700X's performance, that it's able to get around a 60 FPS experience in New Atlantis, you know, which is a CPU heavy area in the game, one of the more CPU heavy areas in the game. So, but it goes to show how important a faster CPU is these days with the new upcoming games, that, you know, even a 6800 XT is bound by a 3700X, right? So I used to have the 3700X paired with a 5700 XT back in the day, and then when I upgraded to a 6800 XT, I ended up moving to the 5900X, and then when I went to the 4090, I ended up going with the 7800X 3D. So it is important. The CPU is important. In the past, I don't know, like the practice has been to focus on your GPU and upgrade your GPU and you're good to go. I think you are probably leaving a lot of performance on the table by using a slower CPU. So let's jump and take a look at the combat now. In this area of the game, we're a lot more GPU bound than we were in New Atlantis. So as a result, the 4090s pulled up ahead a little bit. So the areas can kind of vary greatly in Starfield. I would say for the most part, you probably are going to be GPU bound, except for in the main cities. But the game also doesn't utilize multi-core CPUs very well, because you're probably going to see the same type of performance if you had a Ryzen 3600 or a Ryzen 3900X or 3950X or whatever. So this CPU, 3700X, is usually comparable to an Intel 10700K, although the Intels can be a little bit faster usually, and it probably is faster in this game because Intel performs a little bit better in this game. But it's still kind of an interesting comparison to make. You know, if you have a Ryzen 3700X, it's kind of a good range to gauge what kind of performance you're going to get, right? If you have a 6800 XT all the way up to the 4090, which is, you know, the highest end right now as far as GPUs go. So overall though, the 3700X does give you a 60 FPS experience here, and the rest will rely on the type of GPU you have and the resolution you want to use. So that concludes this video though. If you like it, give it a like. If you have any comments or suggestions for me, leave them below. Thanks for watching.